Hi everybody, this is Agnes from No Sediment, and this is what I would say if I was not afraid to hurt your feelings, wine edition. Often in conversations about wine and also in the comment section of my YouTube channel, I come across certain beliefs that make me just smile and wave.
Just smile and wave, boys.
Instead of getting into long, complex discussions, I picked up a recent internet trend, what I would say if I was not afraid to hurt your feelings, and decided that these heated wine topics would fit rather perfect into it. So let's go. How do I put this? Each of us is a unique little flower. We listen to different music, we wear different clothes, we eat different foods, and we love and hate different wines. We also have different sensitivities to various elements in wine, and some of us might even be blind to certain tastes or aroma. And that is fine. And yet, when it comes to food and wine pairing, some of us go completely bonkers.
Red wine with fish. Well, that should have told me something.
You may know the right wines. The other one on your knees.
Just as everything else, food and wine pairing is highly subjective. If you want to eat fish and enjoy a glass of red wine, you do you. If you want to have Sauvignon Blanc with medium cooked steak, you do you. If you want to pay more attention to what usually goes well together or what might struggle to complement each other, you do you. I do think that wine goes well with food, probably more than any other alcoholic beverage, and it certainly helps to digest the meal better. But picking fights or sneering at people for choosing certain food and wine pairings is simply not my style. And I guarantee you that my greatest wine experiences have not been about food I had with the wine and how perfectly they work together. They have always been about moment and people I was with. The topic of typicity has always puzzled me. It is praised so highly that I have often been too afraid to ask this out loud, but I constantly ask myself, if it is quality we are after, why do we value typicity so much? Why does a lack of typicity so often seems to diminish the quality? A very strong answer to that was once given to me by one of my guests on the No Sediment podcast, Michael Schuster.
When we buy fruit, we buy an apple because we want an apple experience. We buy a peach because we want a peach experience. And when you buy a bottle of wine...
I like this comparison.
The only guide that you have is the label.
Yeah.
And if you buy a Sancerre and it tastes like a Chardonnay from southern France, you're going to be utterly confused and say, this is a nonsense.
And indeed, that is very true. If I am buying potatoes, I would be very disappointed to get apples. You can't make the same dishes from potatoes as from apples. However, if you come to my channel and angrily argue in the comment section that certain wines should not be reviewed because they do not represent the typical style of the region or grape, or when I'm judging wines in the competition and I hear the argument that a certain wine style should or should not have a certain amount of oak and therefore deserves to be scored down because it is atypical, I want to ask out loud, and who made you the god decider of what should and should not be typical of certain grape variety, region, or appellation? Maybe instead of commentators, that role should belong to the winemakers. And while we're on the subject, have you ever really stopped and thought what typicity really means? It means average, usual, typical. Isn't every single top quality wine in the world, in a way, beginning its journey by being not typical, by being above average in quality? When we look and taste wines, shouldn't we actually praise those that show wine can be more than what it usually offers? I have some examples: Mestres Cava, François Cotat Sancerre, Cumeor River in Auckland, and Kostaki Winery in Samos, Greece. They all make unapologetic style of their own, and they all have great respect for their terroir, their grape varieties, and their land. So yes, I am all about having an apple experience when buying an apple, but sometimes the greatness hides in being different. Of course, winemakers use the term terroir. It is one of the ways to differentiate themselves from the pool of other winemakers, other winemaking regions and countries. By making your vineyard different and unique, you argue that no one can replicate what you have because they do not have the same terroir. And of course, depending on how you define terroir, this argument may land differently. Most commonly, terroir is defined as a unique environment. Think of soils, climate, an aspect that influences the style and quality of the grapes and therefore wine. I personally like to include tradition and human hands as well.
We speak about the primacy of the place, but we rarely mention actually the people, the winemaker. Without, the magical hand of the winemaker, it's just a beautiful piece of dirt, a piece of land.
Without human decisions, Hunter Valley would not be known for its low alcohol, high acid, and light-bodied wines. In a humid, subtropical climate, that would make no sense. There's huge human contribution involved in the style. Clare Valley is a similar story. We see rich and concentrated Shiraz and Cabernet Sauvignon, but we also get limey, high-acid, steely Rieslings, and that is the choice of the viticulturist and winemaker more than it is the expression of the climate. We associate Clare with those steely Rieslings, and winemakers keep delivering them. It might seem that I am picking on Australia alone, but I am not. Champagne and Madeira might be even better examples. Terroir matters, but no one can deny the significant role of human influence. It is the bubbles, the creamy mouthfeel and autolytic nose of champagne, and the fortification and oxidative aging in estufam or conteiro in Madeira that brings us to those regions in a blind tasting. So I remain a firm believer in terroir, but in my view, it is not separable from the viticulturist and winemaker. From the rootstock they choose, the planting density and row orientation, the trellising system and foliage management, the harvest date, the pre-fermentation decisions, fermentation temperature, yeast, oak, and perhaps my favorite of them all, malolactic fermentation. Why is mallow my favorite argument? Because it would happen naturally, and in most cases, winemakers must actively block the Mother Nature. Oh, I almost feel you getting angrier and angrier, but hear me out. For one thing, anything we perceive aromatically has to be volatile, and rock alone is not. But you might say, when I walk in the park or at the seaside, I pick up a rock and smell it, and indeed it does have an aroma. True, but what you are smelling is the organic matter on the rock and not the rock itself. And additionally, there is currently no scientific proof that vineyard geology, such as limestone, schist, or granite, for example, is transferred through roots, through the graft, into the fruit, and then survives the crushing and fermentation of the fruit, and perhaps oak or lees aging, only to later be recognizable in the wine as limestone, schist, or granite. Now, I am in no way saying that soil does not matter. In fact, it matters enormously. Preserving healthy, undisturbed soil might be one of the most important things a viticulturist can do in the vineyard. But it has to do with the microorganisms that live in the soil, such as bacteria, fungi, and so on, helping to break down organic matter and providing wines with much-needed nutrients. In addition to that, a soil's water-holding capacity and pH is of great importance, and they play a crucial role in how healthy the vines are and therefore how healthy the fruit is. And we know very well that healthy fruit leads to high-quality wine. Thank you very much for watching this video. Let me know in the comment section below, did I offend you? And perhaps you have your own wine opinion that would offend others. Let me know in the comments. Meanwhile, make sure to watch this video next.